Hi, howdy, welcome back. It has been a couple days, definitely a couple days. I thought I would shoot this video. I shooted a sister video to this a couple weeks ago about what my favorite medium of eyeshadow was, and it was the Charlotte Tilbury's stick shadows, the color chameleons, because they set and how great they were. And then if you can't tell by the title today, it is the worst medium, the medium I hate for eyeshadows. But first off, if this is your first time here, feel free to reach down and hit like. If this is not your first time here, feel free to reach down and hit subscribe, then like. Either or, whatever makes you comfortable, okay? Now, the medium of eyeshadow that I absolutely get frustrated with every frickin' time, and it does not matter the brand. I have tried L'Oreal with this. Like, L'Oreal had some really pretty colors. It was called like a color tattoo or something, I believe. Like, I was doing the green for a while. Pot eyeshadows. Cream, pot, eyeshadows. Now, I love the colors Charlotte Tilbury makes these in. This is called Rose Gold, and this was probably the first one of theirs I really invested in and loved. But I have some frustrations with these, like absolute frustrations. And I've had this frustration with just about any brand I've tried that does a pot one. Like if you've tried Tom Ford, or you've got Charlotte Tilbury, or you have L'Oreal, you know, any of them that make these cream shadows. Now, the beauty of a cream shadow is the way it applies and the way it looks. Like, I'm just gonna dab my finger in here. See that? Look at this. It's that beautiful color. It looks so, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, look at that. That is the kind of color you want on your eye. Problem is, unless you have the right primer, you are set for so much creasing. So much. This is another one. It's called Mona Lisa, although I think she's renamed some of these recently. Like, it's the same colors, but she's changed the names. Like, I could totally see where she was going with the names. Like, I love this color. It's like a brown that comes off almost purple. And that's the reason I bought these in the first place, is I loved the colors. The colors were great. I saw them online and I saw them on eyes and they were awesome. And I was like, yeah. And then I watched the videos on how to apply on the Charlotte Tilbury website. And I watched some videos on YouTube on how to apply cream eyeshadows. And I was like, yeah. And then I had somebody who said, you do know that creases? And I was like, no, look at that one there. That's not gonna crease. Oh yeah, yeah, it creased. It creased big time. It creased so bad, it was just embarrassing, and I felt like a total dingus for not using a primer. But when I was watching the videos, nobody used a primer. It looked gorgeous. It looked amazing. I'm gonna turn down the lighting a little bit. And then when I wore it, oh my God, it could not have creased more. Like, right through here it creased, and then I had creases here. Everywhere my eyelids actively crease or move was so greased. It looks so bad. And then on top of that, these pot eyeshadows, and it does not matter the brand, dry out so freaking quickly. I'm like, what the? Like, these are not cheap. And it's like, okay, I can buy a powder palette that says anywhere from 18 to 24 or 36 months, depending on the brand. Like, amazing amount of time. Every one of these says 6 months, and you're lucky if you make 6 months without these things drying out. Like, half the time, I swear to God, you can flip it upside down and do this, and it will come out as a solid chunk as it dries out, and it starts to crack. I mean, if you look in here, you can see the cracking starting, which frustrates me because I have barely made a dent in this. I would almost have to wear this every freaking day for the 6 months for me to make a big enough dent to make it worth the amount of money in this. This is one of the reasons why I really wish Charlotte Tilbury would take some of these colors, like this rose gold. I wish she would turn this rose gold into a color chameleon. Like, I would buy 6. I would make sure I always had it on hand because I love this color. I have green eyes. It makes the green pop wildly. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Do not love the formula. Do not love the side effect of a cream shadow. It is just so effing frustrating. And it's like, half the time you're applying it with your fingers, you literally have to put a primer down. There's no question on this. And you apply it with your fingers, and then you get a brush out and you start to help blend it out. But of course your brush is now going to require like a whole nother level of cleaning compared to just the regular powder stuff. this is like my least favorite medium for eyeshadow. You can achieve some beautiful, gorgeous colors and beautiful, gorgeous application in this formula, but it does not stay and it does not last. See, look. See, isn't that a beautiful color, that rose gold? It's gorgeous. And yet at the same time, and then, I don't know, if you don't get the brush cleaned half quick enough, you end up with this like really gunky, like hardening brush. It's gross. So yeah, pot eyeshadows. I don't think I'm gonna be, like, the color's gonna have to be really freaking special for me to invest in any more pot shadows. Like, I don't know, it's just not worth the money. Like, I had bought them and I did not realize quite how quickly some of these dried out. Like, you get some brands that's like, and then on top of that, you run a bacteria risk so much higher with these because they stay wet, because they are moist. You literally have to go with that 6-month marker because they're nothing more than a bacteria farm. Beautiful color. At the same time, let me just smear something on my eye that could possibly give me a sty or some kind of eye infection, especially if you go past the use by date. And it's like, what the? The application is singular and beautiful. The long term sucks on pot shadows. Like, I've tried a Tom Ford before, L'Oreal. Like, I've gone through my drugstore, my Walmart, you name it. I've tried. Somebody actually gave me a Tom Ford at one point that was a pot shadow, and I didn't even have to pay for it. And I tried it, and the formula was beautiful, and some of the colors were beautiful, but it came to the same thing. It dried out. You couldn't keep it longer than the 6 months, and you creased. There was no getting around it. There was creasing. Unless you have the right primer under it, there was creasing. Least favorite. Anybody else got an opinion? Anybody else absolutely found a way to make this last longer or potentially not crease without having to go through 47 primers? I mean, I'm looking for some feedback, guys. What do you think? I mean, does anybody live in these? Because I live in the powders just because they last longer, and I think the application's a little bit more forgiving sometimes. Like, it's definitely more forgiving sometimes, the powders. Like, these are great, but no. Charlotte Tilbury, if you ever watch this, rose gold, come on, make it in the color chameleon. I know I'm not the only person that's gotten a hold of your website and said make it in a color chameleon. I know quite a few other Instagrammers and makeup users have gotten a hold of you with the same thing. Your rose gold is such a beautiful color, but this medium is not the greatest. Okay, let me know what you think down in the comments. Yeah, thanks. Anybody else got one they just absolutely hate? Like, I can't be the only person thinking I hate this. Or does somebody else absolutely hate one of the powders? Give me a shout out. Or has anybody found a brand of pot that performs better? Or does everybody have the exact same problem? Let me know. Like, I'm super curious. Okay, guys, remember, stay safe. Wash your hands, social distancing. We're having our second wave come through. A lot of these states have opened up about 2 to 3 weeks ago and started relaxing their pandemic restrictions. And they have in effect seen a massive shoot up in the number of positive COVID cases. Where I'm at is no exception. The numbers I'm seeing coming in from Florida, Texas and stuff are like scary high. Some of the states are reporting on almost 60% occupancy in their hospital beds. It's a little worrying. But at some point we knew this was going to happen. The whole point of the COVID lockdown and pandemic stuff was to flatten the curve. It was not going to get us past it, but it was to flatten it enough so when we finally did have more percentages of the population end up positive and have to be hospitalized, we would not run out of beds. So that is literally what we were working to through all of that. But stay safe, guys. Stay as safe as you can, okay? Thank you. Have a nice day. I will see you next time. Bye.